Hello everyone. Today I have MX Linux on an actual machine, on a Lavino ThinkPad X230. This is, I believe, by the way, this ThinkPad is the last modular ThinkPad. Is a very good ThinkPad, and this ThinkPad have two drives, two solid state drives, and I have MX Linux on one of them, and I just want to show a few things about MX Linux. So I want to talk about saving. Of course, MX Linux is a XFCE system. So I want to talk about saving things. So let's talk first about the menu. The menu on MX Linux is kind of backward, but I actually like it. I don't know why many people do not like it, but it have the category here, and as you can see, if each time I highlight, it will populate, which is a familiar thing to all XFCE systems or menus. You know, it doesn't populate like OpenSUSE, which I looked, where it will open like different little apps. But no, but it will populate in a traditional way. You can of course scroll, you know, and you have, of course, we have but you have the category here, and you have, of course, you have the what your favorites if you want to save things in your favorite. Recently, what you opened, for example, I opened the task manager here, which is the same old task manager that all XFCE have. And of course I have the Conky. We'll talk about the Conky very shortly, but you know, as you can tell, I have 1 2 3 4 5 things open, and I'm only using, oh look, I am actually using a little bit. I'm using 20%, 20 to 30% of the system, 25%. So that's not, and of course I'm recording also. So let's look at, I wanna look at, let's say I wanna open, well, let's open something at random. Let's open, what is it? Oh yeah, I'm gonna show, let's go to games. I wanna save a game. I can right click on the game. I went to category game. I have a breakout. Can right click on it. I can add to desktop, and I can add to panel, and I can add to favorite, which that will be here, and all this. So it will allow me to do all these things, you know. So add to favorite, add to desktop, add to panel. So I don't like the idea of adding it to the panel, because I think in reality, XFC vanilla XFC panel is here, and the dock usually have a dock here. I think that what they do when they configure it, they move the dock to this side and the panel to this side. So when you save to the panel, it will show up here, which is not very convenient. So that's one of the things. So I'm gonna go ahead and remove. Okay, here where it's cool to, that's a traditional Windows style, but unlike modern Windows where it will, this is just, will put a link here, if you know, for in the desktop where you can just click on it. In the desktop, it's not saving it like modern Windows from Windows 10 and 11, and I think Windows 10 and 11, maybe 7 wasn't like that, where everything you save in the desktop, it's saved to the OneDrive automatically. So which allow everything you save, including your precious document, to be imported to a third party, Microsoft in this case, a giant lumbering uh, you know, what's the word I want to use, company that have so much information and so many customers and very little support, of course. So I'm gonna go, and I wonder if I can delete it just by highlighting. Nope. Do I have to delete? I have to remove. Yeah, I just have to rename, delete. Okay, so I just delete, but it won't delete it from the system. It will stay in the system, but just delete basically. So it deleted basically from the desktop. This is like old-fashioned Windows, which is the good thing about Windows that no longer there. So you save things, so you can save things. Oh yeah, let's open it the same program again. Let's go to games, open it. Let's say I want to save it here. So I have to right click on it, pin to dock, spin to dock, and let's close it. Now now it is here. It's pinned to the dock, even though it basically pinned to the left side of the panel, which will make it more traditional. I'm just gonna go and say unpin. I don't want it here, but that's one thing. So you have the option of saving it to the panel, which is this side, saving it to the dock, which is this side of the panel, saving it to the desktop. So you can allow you to move your files and your folders and programs wherever you find them convenient, which is very cool. Of course, it have that menu that is the XFC menu, which is one of the best menus. It's really, it take a lot from the window manager. If you ever had window manager systems, you right click and the menu will open, populate by itself on the other side. Usually populate on the right hand side, but nevertheless. So it have that system, which is good. Of course, it does have a search bar. You can search for things. Let's go to the other cool thing about MX Linux, which is the MX tools. So you can get to the MX tools here. I save them, but I'm not gonna go with the way I'm saving them. I can either click here and click on each MX tool attribute. That's one way to do it. So I won't open the MX tools this way. I just open anything inside the MX tools, or I can go here to this wrench, which is like a setting manager, and will open even more stuff than I want it to open. For example, tweaks, MX tweaks. Let's go. And when you download MX Linux, it usually comes like this. And I actually love the in Ubuntu and GNOME. I love it like this, but usually I have those GNOME installed on larger computers, and of course this open in a traditional menu. So this is one of the things that kind of bother me. Usually GNOME have another panel here, and I can like install an extension for a menu here. But in this case, so this is what when it come, and of course you can do left, can do right, go left, and of course it is, I love it on the bottom. I always put it on the bottom so it looks traditional. If you want close to the XFC, you can change it this way. So you can and I want to show this because I want to show that the XFC system is really easy to deal with, and it's solid at the same time. So when you install of course MX Linux, one of the problems for me as an older person is the icons here are small. So I will right click on the panel itself, and I will go to panel, and I will go panel preferences, and I will go here, and I can adjust, you can tell, see, I want to adjust the size of the, so I want to make it higher. I can just adjust them, so now it is actually now I'm gonna keep it because I like it this way. So it make it a little bit bigger for me to look to see what I saved and what I don't. So that's one other thing about the panel, to make the icons in the panel big. The menu itself, I think, yeah, you can pull the menu up, make it bigger, make it smaller, you know. The icons in the menu, they okay, so they not small, so they alright, they have good size. Okay, so this is one way, and let's go to the tweaks. Appearance, of course, will make you different, give you different styles. High contrast, for example, this is great for people with who very hard for them to see the to see the colors, and high contrast will help, you know, where the color is not the thing, it's the contrast is that make a difference. This is the one I want. So you can change a lot of things. Of course, you can change the icons, how they look. Now let's look here. See, they change the icons. Gonna go back to the normal. Actually, I love the old setting of icons. This is GNOME. Haha. Yeah. Okay, let's go back. I don't want to forget where I started. But yeah. Okay, so close this. So let's go to the MX Tools, and MX Tools, that is the why Linux Mint became, at least once, became the best distro, you know. Well, in my opinion, it became one of the best distros because first, it's very stable. It's Debian, and it's very stable, and it's very stable even for and of course XFCE, which is a good desktop environment. So it is really stable that way. That's one way why it's stable and why it's good, and it's easy to configure. The other thing that make MX Linux the best, or one of the best distros out there, is the MX Tools. So it have the, for example, let's look. We have the Conky. So I wanna stop this, start this. Oh look, I have different kind of Conky. Stop this, start this. You know, you can also actually install different Conkies if you want. You know, but so it open this way, and you can of course configure the Conky. You can just adjust them, and this is all the configs for the Conkies. I think I've made in a language called Luna, and I know this because these are the two dashes for the comments, you know, and it's like a kind of a scriptive language, so you know, and it's cool language to play with, you know. It's not a very hard language, at least in a config file. It's not. I won't play, if I were anyone, I won't play with functions if they have, but like they have, for example, you know, colors and all this, you can just change, you know. And usually if I do that, I will save them as a different file. So I will do save as, you know, and I'll save them as different file, and I can play with that file that I saved it as, so not to mess it up. But this is a cool way to do stuff, you know. So this is one thing that we can look at. I'm gonna still go and do this. Nope, stop all. Okay. Okay, so let's go. This is the Conky thing, and let's go. Okay, and of course the Conky. The cool thing about the Conky, it is similar to the task manager, but it show more. For example, it show my battery. It show how much the CPU usage, which is like 23%, which is for this computer is very good, because you have 1 file, 2 file, 3 file, 4 file, and a recording going on at the same time. Still 20%. It show the memory, the RAM, It's this computer have 8 or 7.4 gig of RAM, and it is it's using 3.7. So it's really, this is a snappy system. This by the way, the XFC system is very good for low spec computer. This computer, I don't think I want to consider it low spec. It's a very good computer, but it makes this computer very snappy, you know. I have Zorin on the second drive for this computer, uh, and it runs very good too. But I think I feel the difference. I can't say I see the difference because Zorin is not really a giant operating system itself, but I feel that the XFC is perfect. It's make this computer way better, definitely way better than when I bought it, when it had Windows 10 on it. So anyway, I would just want to talk a little bit more about so the MX tools allow you to do things and give you the tools to do things otherwise you need to do in a like in a command file or bash. You have to maybe in other systems you have to, you know, config a batch file or whatever. So this one give you the tools to do a lot of things. For example, boot repair. You know, let's say your installation is you did an update or upgrade, and your boot is messed up. You can do it right here. You don't have to do a fresh install or anything like that. You know, NVIDIA installer. Let's say when I check you have NVIDIA, you know, and you check, you know, it will check and it will if this computer have NVIDIA, and I had ones before, it will let you know, and it will prompt you to install the drivers you need. So instead of like going to the terminal, for example, and checking and all this for a casual user, this make it good. It make this distro very good. This distro and NTX also, what I like about them is they also push you to learn. So they are not too easy. Like for example, Linux Mint. You know, they are systems that will push you to learn a little bit more, and of course they are lighter than Linux Mint, so that's another thing. So that is the MX tools, which is a very very cool system, and as you can tell, I saved it to the dock because I try to use it often every time I open this computer. MX Linux overall is a great system. I have MX Linux currently on 2 computers. I have it on a 2008 computer, which you know, I had it on that computer since I bought it, since I upgraded it, and I briefly switched it to Mint, and I put MX Linux back on it. And I have it on this computer, which is quite a good computer, you know. But and I ran MX Linux overall even longer than I ran Debian. You know, I ran MX Linux from the start, and it's amazing. MX Linux is really really good. I know also MX Linux. I have a special place in my heart for it because I use MX Linux to refurbish a few computers, especially for the ones that were for people who I cared about, and gave life to computers for people a person who is, for example, a retired person who doesn't want to buy a computer. And the computer that I refurbished for him was an Lavino I forgot XE theory or theory or E theory X, something like that. It was like a small, like a very low spec old laptop, but with MX Linux it ran fine, and that person now can connect to the internet. Because he's older, he can't go around. He can talk to family, to check on friends, family, Facebook, and so on and so forth. So like, that's a cool system, and it's that is my look on MX Linux, and I hope you try it. Even if you have a good system, a good computer, try it. You won't be disappointed. Okay, that's my 2 cents on MX Linux. Have a good day.